In this video, we are showing you a solution for solving mission 14 called Sample Collection from the first LEGO League Challenge Submerged robot game. This mission represents the collection of samples and artifacts for analysis by scientists. It actually consists of 4 different parts that are all scored separately. 5 points are awarded if the water sample is completely outside the water sample area, which is the large circle it starts in between the coral nursery and the shipwreck. 10 points can be scored if the seabed sample, which is the looped, chained claw, no longer touches the base of the seabed mission model between the coral reef and submersible missions in the north. Pulling the plankton sample, which is the white looped cone, out of the kelp forest, which is the green mission model in the east of the mat, is also worth 10 points. Finally, 20 points can be scored if one piece of the trident is no longer touching the shipwreck. And an additional 10 points will be awarded if both pieces of the trident no longer touch the shipwreck. You can decide whether to attempt only 1, 2, 3, or all 4 parts of this mission. You do not have to do them one after the other, you can solve other nearby missions in between. You can drop the samples on the mat after fulfilling the scoring requirements, or you can bring them back to the home area, which is what we are showing you because the samples can be used to score additional points as part of Mission 15, Research Vessel. We are using the Spike Prime Advanced Driving Base built from instructions provided in the Spike Prime software. Let's dive in and see how we accomplished this mission. For our solution, we use one attachment in the front and one in the back of our robot. In the back, we reused the Spike Prime lift arm with the axle contraption that we used to solve the scuba diver mission to pick up the seabed sample. In the front, we use a chopstick-like arm attachment with flexible rubber axle connectors to retrieve the trident from the shipwreck. 2 angled beams protruding from the front help with aligning to the shipwreck. A passive mechanism with a pivoting locking beam extends below the front of the attachment for picking up the plankton sample. Please note that for our solution, we are ignoring any krill or reef segments on the mat that might be in the way of the robot to focus solely on solving this mission. We have divided our solution into 2 runs. Our robot begins in the right launch area. First, it uses the front attachment passive mechanism to hook the loop of the plankton sample. Then it drives backwards, pulling the plankton sample out of the kelp forest and dragging it across the field. Next, the robot employs its rear lift arm with the axle contraption to hook and lift the seabed sample. Continuing to move backwards, the robot heads to the left home area using the flat vertical side of its rear to simply push the water sample into home. In the red launch area, one of our technicians removes the collected samples and realigns the robot for the second part of the program. The angled beams on the front attachment help with properly aligning the robot to the shipwreck. There, the chopstick arm lowers down, reaching deep into the shipwreck. It carefully wedges the rubber connectors around the trident just above where the 2 pieces connect. The robot then gently lifts the arm to extract the trident and smoothly returns to the home area, ensuring the trident stays secure. For solving this mission, you earn 10 points if the plankton sample is no longer touching the kelp forest at the end of the match, and another 10 points if the seabed sample no longer touches the seabed at the end of the match. You will score 5 points if the water sample is completely outside of the water sample area at the end of the match. For the trident, you score 20 points if one piece of the trident is no longer touching the shipwreck at the end of the match, and an additional 10 points if both pieces of the trident no longer touch the shipwreck. Altogether, you achieve a maximum of 55 points if all 4 parts of this mission are successfully completed.